What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got something to clear up. I got to counterpunch something today because I did a video about Wilder's comments about how he felt about his belt compared to the other belts with the other sanctioning bodies. And I've read the comments, so I decided to do my own research on the belts themselves and what they mean, okay? Just to clear all that up. Okay, the first belt was the WBA, and that was in 1921, okay? In 1922, the Ring Magazine belt was established, okay? Or that's when the Ring Magazine Association was established. And they hold merit because, you know, their belt is solid gold and it has its own history. In 1963, the WBC belt was made, and that sanctioning body organization was formed by Julio Suleiman, right? Okay. Now, in 1988, the WBO belt, which is actually the youngest belt, or younger of the belts, was established. The IBF belt is regarded a little bit under the WBA and the WBC, okay? So, as far as prestige, as far as history, the WBA, in fact, is the belt that you should be praising over the WBC. The WBC belt was in 1963. Of course, we know the WBA belt is in 1921, okay? So, if you're looking at these belts in the history, you're really looking at the WBA, then the Ring Magazine, then the WBC, okay? So, these belts, why would you want to praise a belt that is, 63? About 50 years old, right? A little bit over 50 years old, which is WBC, which I know Muhammad Ali regained that belt along with Mike Tyson when he knocked out Tony Tucker and became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Sure, it's the people that had the belt, and then of course they passed that belt, quote unquote, that torch to the next fighter. But if we're looking at belts, we're looking at who those guys fought, okay? Who did Lennox Lewis fight to be also undisputed? He fought Holyfield. Who did Holyfield beat? He beat Tyson twice. Once by KO and another one by DQ. He beat Michael Moore. He beat Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe beat him. He beat Riddick Bowe. Again, see, here's the deal, guys. These guys, these fighters, and I know I'm comparing heavyweight eras, and it's kind of unfair to Deontay Wilder because they don't have fighters like that. However, the fighters that are clear and present dangers to Deontay Wilder, he has not fought. Fact, okay? That's what we have to go on. So if he wants to praise his WBC belt, okay, fine. But you can't do that like the other people that held that same belt, because they've done more with that belt while they had that belt, okay? You have not. Deontay Wilder he got that belt for fighting Bermane Stiverne. I mean, no disrespect to Stiverne, but who did Stiverne beat besides Chris Arreola? You know what I mean? Who did he beat? He was not really known. He was known to have heavy hands. He was known for beating Chris Arreola. Who did Chris Arreola beat? No one. So that's the thing. He was a good prospect at one point that came out of the Olympics, but you know, he got to a certain level and he crumbled. So did Stiverne. He just did it a little bit after he beat Arreola. Okay? So what Deontay Wilder didn't do was fight anyone in the top 10 until he came across Luis Ortiz. Okay? He drawed with Fury. We all know that. We know that story. We know what he's done, and he hasn't done much. So did WBC credibility, if he wants to be like the guys that held the belt, he would have done what those guys did when they did it. Okay. Now, that's what you need to realize about Deontay Wilder and his belt. Okay. So, he is the WBC champion. And the history lesson clears up that one belt is not greater than the other belt. And actually, if you're going to praise a belt, it would be the WBA or the Ring magazine. If you know, because that's the scenario. That's what he's pushing. He's pushing that story out. You know. But like, to be honest, we don't really know how real or realistic that fight was to come to actually being made, because him just saying this is just like, yeah, my belt means more. Okay, if it means more, why fight for any of the other ones? You know what I mean? And for the record, guys, Deontay Wilder had full opportunity to call out Anthony Joshua when he was in his face. He was the heavyweight champion of the world when Joshua knocked out Klitschko. He was there ringside. I'm going to say that again. I can't say that enough. You know, he was there. He was ringside. So guess what? At the end of the day, Joshua and Deontay Wilder have not, I repeat, have not seen each other since. They have sent messages to each other or whatever, through DMs or whatnot, but they have not seen each other face to face at all. So what you hear people say, and I'm a firm believer in, don't say about a person you can't say in their face. That's just a fact, you know. And I think that Deontay Wilder, again, is content with the belt that he has. And that's really it, guys. You guys tell me what you think about the history of the belts. Which belt is really the most prestigious? What makes the WBC more prestigious? Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.